I wanted to see if I could find any new black-eyed children stories as well. And this is what I found. On the paranormal subreddit, r/paranormal on Reddit, 4 years ago, a deleted user posted, does anybody have any legitimate black-eyed children encounters or know of any Reddit posts regarding them? So I'm just going to read a couple of the comments, some of the quick ones that were pretty creepy. Bailey Diane says, I had a real encounter. I was working in an office that did mainly business-to-business sales and rentals. Since we weren't in a great part of town and we weren't exactly open to the public, I kept the door to our office locked. The only way to work the lock was with a key from either side. I had stepped outside to go on a sales call. We had tint on our door that allowed me to see out, but was mirror tint from the outside. I tended to look out before leaving because it was a rough area and I was a young female working alone. This was about 12 years ago, so I was in my mid-20s. I looked out and there were 2 young men walking about a block from me. No big deal. I could easily be safely to my car before they reached where I was. Before I know it, the kids, both looked around 15-ish, were much closer than they should have been, like they had walked a city block in a split second. My flight or fight kicked in. I had no reason to be afraid, but I felt a deep fear. So I went back inside and locked the door from the inside. I'm not even sure how to describe the fear I felt that led me to rush back inside. These kids started banging on the door. Only one of the 2 spoke. He said, we need a phone, let us in. I yelled no through the door. He kept banging on my glass door so hard that it was vibrating. I threatened to call the cops. They kept banging and begging to use the phone. I finally got brave enough to get a better look at them so I could give a description to the police, and their eyes were pitch black. I'm not super religious, but I yelled, in the name of Jesus Christ, I command you to leave.
Everybody goes to Jesus when they scared.
And they disappeared. They just vanished. I had never heard of the black-eyed kids phenomenon before this event. What are these things? Are they demons? Are they aliens?
I think they're energy vampires.
Energy?
Yeah, because you never hear of anybody like dying.
They're Colin Robinson?
Yeah, but spooky. Because everybody like describes fear. And
yes, that's what I was about to say.
The few stories I've seen where people say like they would let them in or at least didn't have something between them, they got really tired.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Weird. So another story is from Cinnamon Peaches 13.
Cinnamon Peaches.
There's those Reddit names. I am not entirely sure if who/what I saw was a black-eyed child, but it scared the crap out of me either way. I live in a village. It's considered a village by size. Had my door open to my apartment one summer evening, sweeping my kitchen floor, when all of a sudden I heard someone at the screen door. I looked over to see a kid, maybe 11 to 12 years old. I couldn't see his face in the dark. For some reason, I was filled with terror, covered in chills. This was just a kid though, right? Can I come in? He asked. No, I don't know you. He then proceeds to introduce himself, and I was so terrified I can't even recall his name. Then he says, now you know me. Can I come in? That's like freaking Pennywise on It. Pennywise, meet Georgie. Georgie, meet Pennywise. Now we know each other. Again, I tell him no, and he's very persistent on entering my home and wondering why he can't come in. I ended up shutting the door on him and doing a lockdown of the apartment. No idea to this day who that kid was.
Poor kids. Like, if these are,
just kids. Can you help me out? Go screw yourself, kid. Oh, yeah, this one was weird. Harmonic Content is the name of this user. I once worked at a department store as a warehouse/stocker guy. One night, I was on a ladder and I saw this girl. She looked like she was in her 20s, but she dressed like a little girl. She had blonde pigtails and a pink dress with a lacy tutu-like pink bottom on it. She was leading this old woman around the store, begging for candy and toys, much like a small child would.
This is really weird.
Yeah, that's why I said this is a weird one. I thought it was odd, and I was just watching from 10 feet above them. He's on this ladder just looking down like, am I seeing what I think I'm seeing right now? The old woman was not responding and just seemed dazed as this girl was throwing things in the cart and laughing. The girl turned and made eye contact with me, and I have never been more frightened in my life. Her eyes were blacked out, like blackout contact style. So it looked like she had scleras on. She kind of snarled at me and laughed. It was terrifying. I got down that ladder in record time and went to my warehouse terrified and told my coworkers. They laughed at me and went looking for the duo and could not find them anywhere. They thought maybe it was a weird kink or something that these two were playing out. The cashier said they saw the old woman buying all the candies and toys, but that there was no girl with her. That's a creepy one, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Like, is this woman kind of like being like possessed by
I
it
know.
and he saw the entity?
Yeah. Looks like a 20-year-old girl dressed like a little girl. That's weird. With black eyes.
Yeah.
That's so strange.
It's almost maybe creepier that an adult would be dressing as a child. And
I know. I don't understand. How's there a... Yeah.
And it could be a kink thing.
Okay, and this was the last one I wanted to read just because it's really creepy. It's not a black-eyed child. It's from a deleted user. But they say, I had an ex who, when he was very pissed, had his eyes turn corner to corner black. I swear to God, I saw this happen sober. He was extremely controlling and abusive, and when I saw that, I realized I needed to leave. I somehow knew that if I stayed, he would kill me.
Yeah, that's...
It's like you with a demon, girl.
Yeah.
You with a demon.
And it's like when he gets mad. Ooh.
Yeah.